at 73. Away from Imo, let's take a look at Abuja. Abuja this morning. Abuja is 81 degrees Celsius, expected to rise to 85 degrees by 10 a.m. By 11 a.m., 88 degrees. By 12 p.m., 90 degrees. And by 1 p.m., 91, rising to 92 by 2 p.m. Highs at 92 degrees and lows at 69. Let us come back a little bit to Lagos. Let us go to Lagos. Rainy conditions expected around 1 p.m. in Lagos. The highest feels like temperature will be 90 degrees around 12 p.m. However, right now in Lagos, it is 81 degrees. By 10 a.m., 84 degrees. By 11 a.m., 85. By 12 p.m., 87, maintaining same by 1 p.m. However, it will rise to 86 degrees by 2 p.m. You can see the rains right there at 20%, which is expected at that time. All right, we have Plateau State this morning. Let us take a look at Plateau. Plateau, partly cloudy conditions expected around 2 p.m. However, right now it is 71 degrees in Plateau. By 10 a.m. is expected to rise to 75 degrees. By 11 a.m., 78. 12 p.m., 80 degrees. 1 p.m., 81, maintaining same for 2 p.m. Highs at 81 degrees and lows at 59 degrees. Kaduna is up next. Let's take a look at Kaduna. Sunny conditions will continue all day in Kaduna. Highs will be at 90 degrees and lows at 61. By 10 a.m. is expected to rise to 79 degrees. 11 a.m., 83 degrees. 12 p.m., 87. 1 p.m., 89, and 2 p.m., 90. Let's take a look at Kano. Sunny conditions will continue all day in Kano. It is 70 degrees right now in Kano. 10 a.m. we see it rise to 75 degrees. 11 a.m., 80 degrees. 12 p.m., 83. 1 p.m., 86, and 2 p.m., 87. All right, that's all time will permit us on our weather updates this morning. You know what to do. Make sure you protect yourself as much as possible all through the day, because it's definitely going to be scorching hot. In Abuja, we wake up with our sunshades. We'll go to bed with the sunshade beside us, because we know when we wake up, we're going straight into the sun to get to work or wherever we are going. All right, let us start with our papers this morning, and I begin with The Punch. The Punch newspaper this morning is our focus of discussion. It says mass abductions return, 145 missing in 4 days. There's a rider. The Punch newspaper, not sports, I beg your pardon. The Punch, the Punch, the Punch. The Punch newspaper, not the sports. That's what we're taking a look at. Our first paper this morning. It says mass abductions return, 145 missing in 4 days. Kidnapped Kebbi schoolgirls, Zamfara, Niger villages, search intensifies. Atiku, PDP react. Federal government pledges swift rescue. It's indeed heartbreaking that we're reminded again of the days of the Chibok girls. I never in my wildest dreams expected to get reports like this. Yes, we have issues in terms of security in the nation, but who would have imagined that this will happen again in our lifetime, where young girls are abducted, anyone abducted, even goats. It's heartbreaking, not to talk about humans. It is really worrisome. If my guests do make it to the studio today, we shall be taking a look at this new problem facing us in our faces amidst United States threats. This is happening. In fact, it was really heartbreaking for me when this report or story broke. I don't know. We take a look at these issues. I do expect also that you call in and be part of the conversation once the phone lines are displayed. All right, let's move on from that heart-wrenching story. 2024 capital project stall, 2026 budget plans. that is on Nigeria's economy. Inflation hit a 3-year low at 16.05%. PDP headquarters showdown, marking the week factions hold a rival next sessions today. PDP headquarters showdown, marking the week factions hold a rival next sessions today. Just beside the mast, Obasanjo Fayose reignite old enmity, trade insults. Still on the punch, Tinubu calls for corruption-free judiciary at judges' conference. Away from that, the federal government receives Benin bronze repatriated from U.S. Tension as Lagos Street urchins stab Air Force officer. Very sad indeed. Lagos bond subscription hits 310 billion naira. All right, let's move on now to our next paper this morning. Let's take a look at the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune is our next paper this morning. And it says, federal government and security agencies, 25 schoolgirls abducted in Kebbi must be rescued. Police deploy tactical team for rescue operation. ISWAP intercepts army signal, kills commander in Borno. Troops hit terrorist enclaves, quell farmer header clashes in northwest and north central. All right, ahead of Governor Kefa's defection, Taraba Assembly Speaker, 15 others dump PDP for the APC. While Southwest must back Tinubu to win second term, Yoruba group. Tinubu salutes Yobamiji at 60. Scientists announce a game-changing vaccine for Lassa fever. That is really good. I don't know if I've said it here on the show. While I was in school as a university undergraduate, I actually got infected with Lassa fever. I happened to be one of the lucky ones who survived. I lost a student, if I can remember the name, Augusta Osobase. We lost Augusta Osobase in our third year in university. That too is one memory that I try as much as possible to tuck away. I see her smiles, I remember her jokes, memories that we try to tuck away, painful memories. So this new development is something that is quite welcoming. I do hope we indeed get to hear the end of this to the positive results. Away from that, Fayose abuses Obasanjo again. PDP, despite expulsion, weaker faction summons NEC BOT meeting today. All right, above the mast, Lagos 200 billion naira bond oversubscribed by 55% at 310 billion naira. There's a rider, 14.8 billion naira green bond attracts 29.2 billion naira or 97.7% over subscription. Edo unveils landmark agricultural mechanization drive. Governor seeks Obasanjo's repatriation to Nigeria. All right, for agriculture, this is good news. They have the land in Edo State, so the land in Edo is very fertile. If they do see this through, this will go a long way in ensuring that there is enough food supply, not only for citizens of the state, but of course Nigeria as a whole. All right, let us move on now to our next paper, which is The Guardian. Let's take a look at The Guardian this morning. The Guardian newspaper says, declining food prices, firmer Naira pull inflation to 15% national target. Well, sometimes when we see this, we always see the statistics on the front page of our papers. We research, you go on Google, you see the statistics. But when you get on ground, it's always different. We keep saying it because it's the truth. We keep saying the discrepancies are like from here to Zamfara State, or should I say from Benin to Zamfara State. I think that distance will best explain statistics given by the government to what we have as a reality on ground. So there you have it. It's the truth. Mass defections. Umar predicts implosion in APC. All right, genocide. U.S. lawmaker alleges Tinubu lying, protecting own interest. Genocide. U.S. lawmaker alleges Tinubu lying, protecting own interest. Away from that, PDP crisis may consume 2 governors, others as factions fix parallel meetings. Security fears deepen over schoolgirl's abduction slain general amid new assaults. Obasanjo Fayose trade words over birthday fallout. Media wordsmith Dan Agbese dies at 81 as LNC others mourn. 16 Taraba PDP lawmakers join APC ahead of Kefers. Away from that newspaper, let's take a look at the Daily Independent. The Daily Independent this morning says, outrage trails kidnap of 25 Kirby schoolgirls, killing of VP. Federal government condemns kidnap of schoolgirls, vows swift rescue. Sagi, Okorie, others ask Nigeria to seek external help. Development, a failure of governance, say legal experts. PDP charges Tinubu to secure lives, property of Nigerians. Tension in Enugu community as Mba's kinsmen protest military occupation. Unical's professor jailed 5 years for sexual harassment. Tinubu admits compromise in judiciary, says it undermines integrity. Tinubu pushes for practical measures to boost intra-African trade. Nigeria's inflation drops to 16.05% faster in a year. All right, let's move on now to the Matrix. The Matrix this morning, the Matrix newspaper, Tinubu to judges don't compromise on integrity, says no amount of reform can succeed if integrity is compromised. Faith in the judicial process is foundation of our national stability. Declining inflation, CPPE raises alarm over structural pressures. Kirby school attack, Atiku Obi fume, say our country can't continue like this. Fuel price drop not due to federal government's 15% import duty suspension, Dangote. Mid-air fight, VDM Mr. Jollof will face full wrath of the law, NCAA vows. Ex-AGF Malami announces plan to contest Kirby governorship. Turaki leads PDP leaders to police headquarters, petitions Wike Anyang. And on sports, after World Cup, Miss Tinubu urges Super Eagles to focus on AFCON. Leave me alone or I spill more secrets, Regina burns Umoko. All right, let's move on now to the Whistler. We have a new paper this morning, the Whistler. It says inflation falls to 16.05% as CBN reforms boost reserves to 7-year high at 46.7 billion naira. That is the Whistler this morning. Clash imminent as PDP factions plan counter meeting Tuesday. We'll defend our party with our lives. Turaki at APC. We are accommodating displaced politicians, says Undume. Kano's trial cannot proceed without jurisdiction ruling, defense warns. All right, let's move on now to the Daily Monitor. The Daily Monitor this morning says, bandits attack. Federal government vows swift rescue of Kirby schoolgirls. reaffirms commitment to citizen safety. Atika condemns Kirby's schoolgirl attack, says Nigeria cannot continue on the spot. Well, let's take a look at the reaction of the federal government vowing to safely rescue the Kirby schoolgirls. I would expect that by now the girls will be rescued. By now we have intelligence report of the rescue of the girls, or at least where they are located at this time. We do not want a repeat of what happened with the Chibok girls. That we do not want that nightmare. We do not want promises. We want action. We want action. The people who abducted these girls are not aliens. They're not aliens, they're humans. Of course, the Nigerian army, with the intelligence and resource that we have, we expect that before the end of today or midday, we should be able to get reports of these missing girls returned alive to their families and of course to Nigeria and Nigerians in general. So we all rejoice at their return. Not words, but action is what Nigerians expect, because in the first place, this shouldn't have happened at all in Nigeria. It is one too often, and we do want to see an end to situations like this. We're talking about human beings. We're not talking okrika in the market where people just go and just park. We're not talking about clothes. We're not talking about chickens or goats. We're talking about young girls with a future and family. We're talking about young Nigerians, and we do hope and pray that before the end of the day, there's a positive news coming in terms of their rescue. All right, let's move on now to the Leadership newspaper. The Leadership newspaper says Tinubu vows safe rescue of 25 kidnapped schoolgirls as police comb forest. Screaming headline also, media icon Dana Gbese passes on May 12, 1944, November to May 12th, 1944 to November 17th, 2025. That's the Leadership newspaper. All right, let's move on to the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust is the next paper. Is the same story on the schoolgirls abduction, dozens of schoolgirls abducted in Kirby. That is the Daily Trust newspaper. Federal government inches towards inflation target. Beside that story, Taraba Speaker, 15 PDP lawmakers defect to APC. Of course, the story on the media veteran Dana Gbese is also on the front page of the Daily Trust. All right, let's take a look at the blueprint. The blueprint this morning has the story of the girls also. It says, go rescue 25 Kirby college girls, Tinubu other security agencies. We have more papers. We'll quickly take them. The Nigerian News Direct is next. Nigerian News Direct, bandits kill vice principal, abduct 25 schoolgirls in fresh Kirby attack. Aliyah Best Governor on International Cooperation Award, not a surprise. Inflation hit 16.1%, marking 7th consecutive decline. We have more papers. The Daily Sun, showdown looms at PDP headquarters. The Daily Sun. Turaki, new national chair, set to assume duties, schedules NWC meeting. Weakest men plan parallel BOT NEC meetings at the same time. And the last paper this morning is the Peak newspaper. It says Nicki Minaj to address UN on alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria today. Nicki Minaj to address UN on alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria today. Justice must never be sold, President Tinubu warns Nigerian judges. Africa's Startup Festival Lagos 2025 to showcase innovation, culture, and networking. All right, I think we have the Sport newspaper that was popped up when we started. Let me just take a look at that, if we can find it right here. The Sport newspaper, no Osimhen, no party. NFF Eagles apologize for 2025 World Cup miss. All right, entertainment, showbiz just popped up, so let me take it before we end this part of the show or the program. This morning, mid-air fight, VDM, Mr. Jolofo faced full wrath of the law, NCAA vows. Don't handle family disputes like I did. Don't handle family disputes like I did, Frida urges Imisi. Leave me alone or I speak out, Regina Daniels warns Ned. London boss auntie takes over TikTok, backs UK videos of the year. All right, that is the last paper this morning. I want to thank you for staying with us all through the first part of the show. We'll take a short break to usher in our guest. The phone lines will be open immediately because of the time spent, so we can start our discussion this morning. Stay with us. Yes, welcome back. It is still the Press, the People's Program, and we're about to begin our discussion this morning. I'm glad to let you know that I have one of my guests. You won't believe it. The other guest called to say he's actually leaving Kaduna for the show, that we should start without him. He hopes to join us midway before the show ends. I do hope he can make it and wish him a safe journey because I know he's watching the show on his phone right now. So if you're watching, Toba, we're waiting for you to join us on the Press. Yeah, so today we're taking a look at Nigeria's insecurity. Mass abductions return, 145 missing in 4 days. As we do it, let us start with our analysis. Nigeria is witnessing a resurgence of mass abductions as at least 145 people have been kidnapped in Kebbi, Niger and Zamfara states in the past 4 days. In the early hours of Monday, armed men stormed the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, in Danko and Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, abducting 25 female students and killing a staff member. In a similar fashion, on the night of 14th to 15th April 2014, 276 mostly Christian with some Muslim schoolgirls aged from 16 to 18 were kidnapped by the Nigerian militant group Boko Haram from the Government Girls Secondary School in the town of Chibok in Borno State. I'll take that again. In a similar fashion, on the night of 14 to 15 April 2014, 276 mostly Christian girls with some Muslim aged from 16 to 18 were kidnapped by the Nigerian militant group Boko Haram from the Government Girls Secondary School in the town of Chibok in Borno State. According to reports, between January and March 2023 alone, 792 people were abducted across Nigeria. Many of these incidents were tied to banditry and criminal gangs, especially in the north. The resurgence of mass kidnappings raises familiar political and security alarms as the country gears up for the 2027 polls. Recall, in the run-up to the 2023 general elections, abductions were rampant. However, as the political parties are warming up for the 2027 elections, there appears to be a resurgence of the situation. This is our focus on the show this morning. I have a guest already seated, and he is Umar Lamin Yalleman. Umar Lamin Yalleman is a businessman, social and political analyst with over 15 years of experience in politics and more than 10 years in the exchange business, farming and power sector. Umar, it's so nice to have you on the press this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm expecting Toba to join us, but we'll make do and just go along until he does. So, Umar, talking about Nigerian insecurity, in the midst of the United States threats to come down here, the scream of genocide, a Christian genocide, and the conversation back and forth. Since that threat, we've had, for me, it appears that that threat triggered something in the heart or mind or psyche of these bandits or terrorists, as it were, because since the threat began, we've seen unusual occurrences in places where there have been peace. That peace has disappeared. We've seen buses, passengers kidnapped. We've seen a surge. There appears to be a surge in insecurity. And unfortunately, the latest 25 girls abducted from school, just a reminder of what happened in Chibok. That dust hasn't settled, and now we have something similar happening right now towards the end of 2025. It is indeed heartbreaking, not that a story we want to hear. We expect that there will be solutions, there will be changes, there will be some form of respite in terms of insecurity in the nation, but that does not appear to be. I really want us to begin our discussion on that point, rising insecurity in this moment in our nation.
Thank you, Eli, for having me, and thank you, Nigerians. Good morning, Nigerians. This issue is very, very serious issue, and it is alarming. Definitely in Nigeria now we are facing a very, very serious insecurity issue in this country. You know, this country is amalgamated in 1914 based on the good purpose and sincerity of purpose. The country will come together, collaborate together, and drive their development together. Nigeria, we have been living in peace for a very long period of time. But since this coming of insurgency, kidnapping, banditry, separatists, agitations, anywhere from this on the part of the country, just raise a lot of issues. Now let me begin with this issue of adoptions of these schoolgirls in Maga in Kebbi State. This is a persistent occurrence of insecurity and adoptions in secondary schools in Nigeria. I think this is about 6th or 5th times in these 3 years students were adopted in their schools, from Chibok girls, from to Boniyadi girls, to Polytechnic girls on Kebbi State, from Kaduna State. A lot of kidnaps, a lot of adoptions has happened in this country, and still there is no drastic measures has been taken to cope or to protect or to stop this kind of adoptions. You know, there is a lot of analysis, or there is a lot of results that is coming out from different organizations in this country and all over the world. But there is a report from Center of Democracy and Development that shows that from January to June 2025, Nigeria had about 5,700 days related to these insecurity incidences, from banditry to Boko Haram, ISWAP, kidnapping, separatists from the southeast. All this come together and they bring all these kind of issues. So this is a very, very serious issue. 5,700 days in 6 months. And from August, by World Human Rights Index and Rules of Law, shows that Nigeria was ranked 142 out of 143 countries in the world in terms of insecurity, beyond Pakistan. So this is a very, very serious issue. I think government must to re-strategize, must to come together, bring a new approach to this insecurity, because this persistent occurrence of adoption, kidnapping, attacks everywhere, every day in this country. Every day there is attack, from the northeast, to northwest, to north central, to southeast. I think so. Only southwest and the south have a little issue of insecurity, but there is a massive insecurity report from the northwest and the north central and the northeast. So I think so. This thing is very, very alarming. Nigerians, in my opinion, government, they are not doing the right thing. The government must to come together, draw a new chart. They must to chart out a new program to tackle this insecurity, because our security operatives has been overstretched. They cannot handle this issue alone.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because how many security agencies do we have in this country? The combination of all security apparatus, they are less than 1 million in this country. And we are talking about 250 million people. In the northwest alone, we have more than 40 million people. And all these kind of insecurity issues are happening massively and regularly in the northwestern region. Kidnapping. Some government, some state governors, they are negotiating with bandits. And in my opinion, this is a wrong approach. How can you negotiate with somebody who is killing people, ransacking the society, destroying lives and the property? How can you make a dialogue with him? How can you compromise with him? I think what I believe is that there is a need for a new approach for security in this country. Government must to call upon all security experts in this country. Let them come together, just bring out a new chart for security tactics, so that they will come and collaborate with security agency and find a lasting solution to this problem.
But isn't it strange that just when the latest change was done in the military hierarchy, as it were, we're not having this happen, because we'd expected that after the change, we'll see change in the fight of insecurity in the nation. Nigerians were expecting that change that Tinubu did, it was done out of, proper arrangements, proper decision, proper meeting, proper information, that the change will go a long way to bring the change that we all desire as Nigerians in tackling insecurity in the nation. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the result.
Yes, there's no any changes because there is a lack of political will. This is the major problem. It's not the issue of capacity or incapacitation. It's the issue of political will. There is a lack of political will from our leaders, especially Mr. President. What I believe, if Mr. President will arrange a very, very formidable security expert, assemble them together, let them charter out, like what I have said earlier, let them charter out a new program for security in this country. I think so Nigeria will do better than what we have been doing now. First is an issue of political will. Second is issue of corruption. Third of issue of incapacity. Because the corruption, how many fund has been appropriated for these securities? From 2015 to now, more than 12 trillion naira has been released to security agencies. And still the security situation is worsening in this country. Why? There is need for investigation. Political will is the major problem. We need a strong leader who is decisive, who is focused, who is determined to fight this insecurity. Because nobody will come and fight this security for us. Nigeria is the only country we have, and we will not allow these small boys, small group, to destabilize our country. And this is unacceptable in this country. I am calling to Mr. President, let him sit down, analyze the situation, bring a new strategy to tackle this issue, and fight corruption decisively.
If you just joined us, it is the press. First, the phone lines are on the screen right now. Do call in and be part of the conversation as we expect our second guest to join us right here in the studio as we discuss Nigeria's insecurity, mass abductions, return, 145 missing in 4 days. Alarming, right? Please call in and join us right now. All right, you talk about governors negotiating with bandits. You talked about corruption as being one of the bane of the problem that we have in fighting or not getting the results that we desire in terms of insecurity in the nation. You've also spoken about Tinubu re-strategizing and finding a way to tackle and wrestle this nation from the hands of small boys, in quote, that you've mentioned, who are holding us to ransom in this beautiful nation called Nigeria, the greatest nation on earth, blessed beyond words, if you ask me. When you talk about strategy, do you have any? Do you have a path that you think will work? Do you have a path or a strategy that the Nigerian government can adopt? Can you imagine me saying abduct? Adopt. Yes. God help Nigeria. I feel like singing that song, Nigeria Go Survival, Nigeria Go Survival, because it has become a play of survival in Nigeria. You leave your house in the morning, you don't know what will happen between your gate and your destination. You're not certain if you're going to come home. That's how bad it is. That's how bad. For me, that's how it is. I pray before I leave. I am not always comfortable when I'm out, and the slightest noise, I am on edge, because you never expect what will happen. So what are some of the advice that you can give that you think that this government or past government haven't explored to ensure that we tackle this once and for all?
What needs to be done in this country is, first, we need to amend our constitution. We must provide a provision for state police, because there is a total failure from the national police. I think for state police will provide solution to this problem. If these governors, they have the absolute power on security, definitely they will find a lasting solution to this problem. Look at what Governor of Zamfara State is saying. In last few months, he have said that he has all the information, the movement, the regrouping, the strategy, the mapping of all these kidnappers and the bandits in Zamfara State. For if he was given the opportunity to get a state police, definitely he will tackle this problem. The same thing to Katsina State Governor. He's saying it the same thing. So I think what people must to do, Nigeria must to do, is to amend our constitution to provide the provision for state police. Secondly, there is a need for community policing. People in the community, if you look at the Zamfara from Safi, Shinkafi to places in some local government in Katsina, they are having a dialogue with this bandit. But after this dialogue, later in few days, this bandit will come and re-attack, ransack all the community. Now in Nigeria, in our country, some people in the northwest, some villages in Katsina and Zamfara State, they are paying money to the bandit for them to cultivate or for them to farm. This is very, very unfortunate. This is unacceptable in this country. You have been differentiated in your own country. You don't have any legal right to live in peace and harmony in your country. Government must to come up and arise to the occasion to tackle this problem. First, we need to amend our constitution to provide provision for state police. Secondly, there is need for a lot of community policing, community engagement, community awareness. And secondly, people must to come and arise to protect themselves. You cannot allow small boys with guns and to come and ransack your villages, destroy your property, your farmland, your asset, your everything, and see. People, I think what government should do, there is need for provision and giving license to the people to take weapons, because government cannot protect our citizens. For more than 15 years, all the time the situation is escalating. For more than 15 years, the situation is worsening. For more than 10 years, and the money has been appropriated, more than 12 trillion naira has been released to security apparatus to tackle this problem, and they fail. Even though we are not against our security, we know they are doing well, they are trying their best, but a lot of things need to be done in this country to curtail this security situation, because people cannot stay in this country just looking all these kind of activities is happening. From Niger, northern Nigeria, 80% of northern Nigeria has been occupied by insecurity. From Boko Haram to ISWAP to bandit to kidnappers. I think this is unacceptable in this country. To be sincere, any government must to do something decisively to tackle this problem.
All right, it is still the press. Again, we'll take a short break to usher in our second guest, hoping that he's here. Do stay with us because the conversation continues. Yes, welcome back once again. It was false alarm. Toba definitely is still on his way down here. I don't know if he can make it before the show ends, but I'm glad to let you know that my guest is here, Umar Lamin Yalleman, who is a social and political affairs analyst. And this morning we'll take a look at Nigeria's insecurity. Mass abduction returns, 145 missing in 4 days. Umar, I want to appreciate you for your analysis, but we still have more to talk about. You've given us, your own take on what you feel the Nigerian government can do to, curb insecurity. They need to do extra. You said they need to re-strategize. I've had guests come in here to say the same. We can't stop talking about this situation, as it were, a once peaceful, loving country. I used to travel at night. If I'm to travel by road, I'll go buy my ticket, the bus car. We used to call it a bus car, where you have a toilet, bathroom, you watch movies. I buy my ticket about 12 at Jibo. I live in Lagos. And in the evening, if I'm traveling with my friends, we play around. By 5:30, we are there, we're bored, and we enjoy the ride. Travel to Abuja by road, using the bus car, travel to Port Harcourt by road. I only traveled at night because it was interesting, it was enjoyable. I can barely travel during the day. Once I hear travel, oh my God. And I have to travel by road. But if I have to go by air, the distance between my house to the airport is, let's just get to the airport so I can board and get down. You get to your destination, the same fear is there. It is strange that in the midst of the United States threat, should I say in quote, Trump's threat, we're having a resurgence of abductions. We're having a peak in insecurity. If you take a look at the chart since the threat started, this is what we're seeing. Initially, when we had the early type of threat, we did hear that bandits were leaving the borders, they're leaving Nigeria. But what happened? Suddenly there was a switch. It's like, in the midst of the conversation, some people say Trump will come, don't worry, the United States won't come. And it's like these guys just stopped and said, what did they say? Oh, Trump won't come? That means they know something. And suddenly we're having this spike of, insecurity to the extent that we are here today. 25 young Nigerians, young girls, abducted. So, I don't know. Why do you think we're having so much confusion in the midst of all that is happening?
It's only in Nigeria lives and the property are not valuable in this country. The government is not valuing the lives of Nigerians. Look at the indices I have mentioned earlier. I told you that from Center for Democracy and Development have said that Nigeria had about 5,700 days from January to June. In America, the loss of only one life is not being taken for granted. They have to take a very, very decisive measures to protect and to prosecute those who are capable for doing that crime. But in Nigeria, it's a normal routine. Killing people is a normal routine in Nigeria. Nothing is happening. The government, they are not feeling anything. They are just there, grouping themselves, enjoying a lavish life, just borrowing money from overseas and spending the money recklessly. This is the most important issue people need to understand. Our life has been taken for granted. How many adoption has happened in this country in last 10 years? From Chibok girls to now, more than 1,000 people has been adopted in this country. And nothing has happened. No any adopters has been arrested or prosecuted. The issue of threat of Trump to invade Nigeria to tackle all this issue, because there is a lot of agitation or allegation of Christian genocide in Nigeria. I didn't believe with the allegation. Well, though there is a lot of killings in country, but this is a killing, is a combination of all. There is killings in Christian side, there is killings in the Muslim side. On all the Muslims and the Christians, they are victims of this insecurity in this country. I think so, to just make a statement, we will come to invade the country or to fight some people who are killing Christians is not fair. But if American government, they are coming to help Nigeria to fight this insecurity, Boko Haram, ISWAP, bandit, kidnappers, separatists. So I think so this is a very, very good idea. Because Nigeria, our government has failed to protect us. The government has failed to provide a security for us. If American government can collaborate with Nigerian government, provide logistics, provide security aid to help Nigeria to fight this problem, this insecurity issue, is a welcome development. But issue of helping Christians, this issue is dividing the country, not uniting the country. Because Americans, they are not after Christians. Look, go there, go and see what is happening in Palestine. There is a lot of Christian clerics who has been killed in Gaza. And these Israel people, they are supported by America. They have backing of America government. So America, anywhere they invade in the world, they are just after their interests. They are after the wells. They are after the crude oil we have in this country. They are after the gold we have. They are after the diamond and all other mineral resources we have in this country. I think so this is the right time, Nigerians, both Muslim and Christians, to come together, collaborate, discuss, deliberate, and define a lasting solution to this problem. Because leaving these young boys, small boys, because I'm calling them small boys, because how many are they? They are less than 30,000. They are less than 30,000.
But Umar, what has happened now? In the last 4 days, we've had young girls abducted. We've had, that is the statistics that we have. That's the number that was given to us. We don't know if it is more. Because now you wonder why I said it's possible for it to be more. I remember something happening during, that's my time in school as an undergraduate, where lots of students were killed, but the papers only mentioned one. Only one casualty. Only one casualty.
That is the normal.
Those of us on the ground, we lost our friends. We lost brothers, sisters, cousins. There was a full load, a full truck that left Ekboma that morning going towards Uwomi. Half of that truck didn't return. But the paper said one casualty. So we get the statistics. When we come here and we say things like this, what we get on paper, what is being given to Nigerians, we have to say this because it's the truth and we're here to tell the truth. Most times the statistics or data given to us does not correlate with what is real on ground. We do not have the real data when things like this happen. There's always sugarcoating. There's always something different being said. And I feel that's the reason why we may never get to the root of the problem. We may never get the solution that we seek because truth is not in the mix of the information being given to us as Nigerians.
You know, this issue is not about giving exact figures of days or casualties or fatalities. In the issue.
So what is?
Issue, the first, this is like a normal world standard. Anywhere in the world, when there is a casualties, government are containing and preventing the press to just print or to inform the citizens exactly what is happening because of the tension. And you know, if you go there, the killings of Boko Harams, how many people, this bomb in Kano, let me recall in 20...
Please, Umar, please, let's take we have our first call.
Okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Good morning.
Please, can you put your phone close to your mouth?
How are you?
I'm good. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Yes,
What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? I think, hello? We lost that. Okay, we lost that call. Please do call in and be part of the conversation. Do call in. It's become a trend. You guys don't call me when I'm on air. I'll probably bring a policeman here on Friday, if I'm here on Friday, to ensure that you call, a police call, a policeman, a call, police, whatever. Just call in and be part of the conversation, please. All right, Umar, you were telling us about the bombing in Kano.
Yes, bombing in Kano in 2016. More than 800 people were dead. But the report is talking about only 50 people. But those who are victims or those who are witnesses in the incident, where the incident has happened, they told a lot of people, they lost their relatives, they lost their friends and everything. But the major issue here is that why government is neglecting this issue. Why persistently Nigerian government is failing to secure our life and the property for a long period of time. That is a fundamental issue.
Our second guest is here. We've been told that our second guest is here, though the time is fast spent. This man came all the way from Kaduna to be part of the show. We need to bring him in. We'll take that break again. We crave your indulgence. Please stay with us as we take a break to bring in Toba. Stay with us. Yes, thanks for staying with us. Let me quickly introduce our new guest that just joined us all the way from Kaduna. He drove here to be with us to discuss this very, very important topic, Toba Owojaiye. Now, Toba is a political affairs analyst, is an engineer, seasoned political affairs analyst, career coach, and business development consultant with over 2 decades of proven experience. Toba, it's so nice to have you on the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for coming late.
No. Well, I appreciate you. The fact that you got here safe is what is important.
Thank you very much.
I know you're busy, very busy schedule. I know you've been here last week and the week before.
Yes.
So I appreciate you taking time to be on the show. You already know we're taking a look at Nigeria's insecurity. The mass abduction has returned once again, and of course 145 missing in 4 days. I've been discussing with Umar. He has helped tremendously. He has, given insight, and now is your turn. Your take on the unfolding situation in terms of insecurity in Nigeria.
I would say it's largely political. 90% of the problems of Nigeria is political. It's either those in power or those who want to take over power. And they use every means that is available to them. They know that we are already divided by religion, we are divided by our tribe, we are divided by our educational class, by our commerce. So the politicians always take advantage of this to pull in all the factors that can destabilize this country. We saw this when there was a plan to remove Goodluck from office, and we are seeing this again. So it's largely political. The military can try. If you heard what the governor of Kebbi said, he said that intelligence came that school will be attacked, and they had a security meeting, and they said they will put up a 24 hours protection. But it still happened. So if a governor is aware, the DSS is aware, they've held meetings, and a school can still be attacked and people taken by 6 a.m., then what other measure do you think will stop it? So, and there's also the Trump angle to it. Some people truly want Trump to come in. If things are abated, Trump may have to hold back a bit. So you will see more of these adoptions. It's all, for me, is 90% political.
Now, would you say, would you agree to those who say that the military has been compromised? The Nigerian, there's a lot of compromise within our security, system, because, like you said now, that in fact, I think we had the same report about Chibok girls. Mm-hmm. There was intelligence report that this will happen, and at the end of the day, it did happen. Umar here has given us statistics and data of the huge amount of money that has been spent on Nigeria's security. We're talking trillions of naira, and yet we do not have the solution in sight. Things are getting downhill in terms of insecurity in the nation, and this one bites so much. The taste is a bitter bar. I can't even swallow it. It's just in the tip of my mouth. And it is, again, unfortunately, there's always this undertone of politics in the situation like this. I mean, how can a country survive where, if it's true that situations like this always have a connotation, a coloring of politics? I want to give you that opportunity, as you just
for the first time in a long while,
to tell us more.
Yes, so that our good guests can also contribute. For the first time in a long while, we've had a brigadier general who was killed. The military first denied it. Now they've come to accept, and that his location was tracked. So this is not baby intelligence. And please, they need to understand that before we were just fighting people gathered with knife and guns and we no go gree. Now they have drones. Now we are not fighting a local body again. That local body we are fighting has gone with 2007. Now we are fighting people
that have gone high tech.
That have gone high tech, that have means. That you see, and that's why when you say you want to take repentant Boko Haram or whoever and moving them to the military, what is this? What if they are just sleeper cells that claim to have changed, only to divulge information of top leaders. So the military is not safe again. In my opinion, NDA was attacked during the Buhari era. NDA was attacked. So the military needs to sit up, not because they're not doing well. Truly, they're doing a fantastic work. However, when there is a political surge like this, they need to up their intelligence and up their unity to discourse. Because they can't claim that none of them know anything, but sometimes you just want, okay, for a political reason, let's see if this trouble can remove this person. Let's see if this trouble can help this person remain on seat. In Tanzania, we saw the female president arrest almost all her opposition and lock them up till after election, and she got 90% success, and every activist was silenced. So you wonder that even a woman, female president, can do this. So we are in for a complete mess. God help all of us. God protect all of us. That's all I can say.
Now, Umar has spoken about the political will to tackle this situation, that we need someone that is ready to fight insecurity head-on and get results. That's what he has said. Do you think that this administration has not done enough to tackle insecurity?
No, I won't say a president will come and change what we are doing. What we are doing is we fanned, we flamed, we powered, we changed in dynamics. Say set is doing cattle rustling and farmer header clashes. A set is doing abductions. A set, another group, just different tactics for different things. Another set is doing mining. And the people who put them there to mine have now discovered that the small wolf that you brought to your house is now becoming a big wolf, and they cannot even control them again, because those people are now dealing directly with who the people who put them there were dealing with. They've removed the middleman that was controlling them. So we are in for a mess. We're in for a deep mess. The president, I don't see anybody removing the president in 1 year's time, and I hardly even see them removing him in the next election. So the faster we join a united front and tackle this, face it from the roots. One of my mentors, Mekarfi, said when he was governor that every crisis should be handled as two fighting. Don't believe as a leader that there's a political connotation and all of that. That once you see two people who slapped who, arrest that person. That's really, not that there's no political drama, but that's the only way to handle it. The president needs to whoever needs to get to that school, retrieve those kids, and eliminate anybody involved. We said that they will tell us who sponsored the 40 people. Dubai said they will tell us the people who sponsored the crisis and insecurity. Till today, we don't have the list. People say they've given the list to the government. Why give the list to the government? Put the list out on, read out the list once. What is all of this drama? It's like you said, I have a secret about you. I'm telling you I have a secret about you. I will say it though. I will say it though. If you want to say it and if you don't want to blackmail, then say it. Let's know the people funding all of this.
So the president has said that, he has given a directive that the Chibok girls must be rescued. And before you guys came, I did say that before the end of today, what we expect to see or hear is that the girls have been rescued. Do you think, as usual, is words and no action? Umar, as we begin to round up, we don't have much time.
See, look at this situation very well. What I understand about the fundamental problem of this country, first, there is a leadership problem. Secondly, there is a corruption. Third, there is a lack of synergy within the security apparatus. Look at what my brother has said. There was a security report that this adoption will occur in these schools. And nothing has happened. Why? Who are responsible to protect that area? What happened to them? You have been given an assignment to protect life and property of these people, and you fail that assignment. There is need for punishment for you. And nothing has happened. And what my brother has said about all this, what is happening is political. I didn't believe him 100%. Because
not?
since the inception of Boko Haram in 2009, the government has mishandled the situation of Boko Haram. They killed the leader. They didn't put a proper measures to prevent the further occurrence of this problem. Secondly, the issue of banditry. People are not tracing the fundamental problem, the major problem of this issue of banditry in the Northwest. We know the issue of banditry in the Northwest has been originated from herders farmers clashes. Let me give you one example.
We don't have time.
Yes, in just 1 second. During Lamido, as a governor of Jigawa State, there is a lot of incident of clashes between herders and the farmers. What the Lamido did in his wisdom is that from inception of this country, in 1950s and the 40s, there is a well-demarcated grazing routes in our areas. Where are the grazing routes now? Farmers has taken over all the grazing routes. That is what he did. He demarcated, redesigned that grazing route and told the farmers, this is your boundary, and tell the herders, this is your route. Don't ever enter the farmers, cross there, and you farmers don't ever encroach their grazing route. And he solved the problem there.
We don't have time anymore. Okay. We don't have time. We have just 1 minute. I'm going to shed that minute into, like we love to do, I'm giving you 30 seconds. I'm giving you 30 seconds in your dialect. Speak to your people on this matter. 30 seconds, please.
Abin da nake so na faɗa a nan shine wannan matsala ta rashin tsaro ya kamata mutane su fito fa su kare kansu. Gwamnati ba za ta iya kare su ba, mutane ya kamata su kare kansu, a rabu da maganar siyasa, wannan dan jam'iyyar APC ne ko jam'iyyar PDP ko ADC, mu haɗu mu haɗa kanmu mu yaƙi wannan ta'addanci.
Toba.
I'm not fluent in my language, so I'll speak English.
Okay. Pidgin.
Pidgin.
Yes.
I agree with this Ogao. The country hot. If we try go back, go look those grazing route. Our man, people go fight because different people village don't touch grazing route now. If we fit establish that grazing route, but the people for the locals still they control the place, that idea will work. But now we grazing routes go other people country and other people village. I don't know whether they will solve this matter.
Okay, we've been told no time. I want to thank my guests. I appreciate Toba for still making it. I thank Umar for all the analysis this morning. I appreciate you. And for that one caller who tried to call in and couldn't come in, so sorry. Make sure you call again tomorrow as the show continues. Of course, Nigeria is our home, the only country we call home, the greatest nation on earth. Please, let's keep the sanctity and peace of Nigeria one. Let it be in our hearts. My name is Anire Binitie. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
So